Skull Rock Podcast is brought to you by the generosity of the following companies. The Old Mill Press, publishing beautifully crafted books that illuminate our world. To learn more, visit theoldmillpress.com. And by listeners like you.
Hey, it's Bruce B. Lanoyle, 40-year Muppeteer, and you're listening to the Skull Rock Podcast.
Ladies, remember this as the day you sailed with the Skull Rock Podcast. Proceed at your own risk and mark well-be words, ladies. Dead men tell no tale.
Welcome to Skull Rock Podcast, the show about all things Disney and pop culture. Every week we take you behind the scenes of some of your favorite Disney films, theme park attractions, performances, books, and music, as well as what's going on in the theaters and streaming online. We watch all of that, and we go about our business. Aljon Go, musician and longtime Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and pop culturist. And you can email me, Aljon, A-L-J-O-N, at skullrockpodcast.com.
I'm Kat, here this week again for Dave. I am an experiential producer, a film historian, and I'm just really happy to be back. Welcome to the Skull Rock Podcast. If you love Disney and pop culture, please subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can like and follow on Facebook, X, Blue Sky, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course on YouTube. And you can always email Dave at dave@skullrockpodcast.com.
Hey, Kat, welcome back.
Hello. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you. Dave has packed up his moving truck and moved out of Beverly. Actually, not really. Beverly's, moving out of the LA region and moving across country. So it looks like he is getting ready to land and start anew out there on the East Coast yet again. He's an East Coast boy after all. So yeah.
That's so exciting and scary and crazy, and I wish them all the luck in the world.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to move, and many of us will stay relatively 10, 15 years in a place or something like that, and then move into a new place down the road or something like that. But no, Dave is moving back to the East Coast after being in LA and working at Disney for decades. He and his wife both, and it's crazy to kind of uproot your whole life and move it across country as he's doing. But
truly,
yeah, but he's having a good time. Hey, you know what else is a good time? Bill Barretta, he's back for week 2. Pepe the King Prawn, his voice, his puppeteering, all of that stuff is going to be once again on full display for this episode of the show. So we're going to do another deep dive with Bill and talk about his career. And it's, it's really cool if you go back to the show last week of him talking about Muppets Tonight and finding his way and the genesis of Pepe, which is, for me, like one of the most beloved Muppets of this new crop of Muppets that come up around that Muppets Tonight generation,
Oh, agree 100%. Pepe is an icon, and Muppets Tonight was too short-lived. It was so good.
Yeah.
I feel like we talk about that Prince episode so much.
It's iconic. I mean, that is the standout episode, although you're right. It was too short a season for Muppets Tonight. It was too short a season for the Muppets and the Electric Mayhem band this past couple of years. It's just, but they're coming back in the Rock and Roller Coaster. We're hoping that the Muppets will find more viral moments for them. And I think, for them to be culturally relevant, they just have to keep on doing these cool spoofs. I think that's what's been lacking in a lot of the films, although they're really good. And I enjoy the films, the last few films. I feel like they're best when they're spoofing things.
Agree. 100% agree.
So anyway, we'll hear more about Bill and what's going on with Bill in part 2 of the segment. However, let's talk now about, I guess, we don't have a lot of listener email and comments, but I will say we did get this really cool note. The show gets listened to a lot, and Eric Robinson, who is one of the amazing artists who's been on the show before, fine artist, Imagineer, behind the scenes of Disney, Tokyo, and all those really cool theme parks, shared a little reel of him doing a 70th anniversary mural at Imagineering, and he actually did a replica, a recreation of that mural from Imagineering, and I guess he might make it available as fine prints or cliche or whatever. But he was listening to our podcast and like tagged us in it, which is so cool. So you need to follow him on Facebook. He's amazing, and it's like, take my money, please. It's so good.
Eric is such an incredible artist. He live painted at our Ryman event this year.
Yes.
This incredible piece of Jungle Cruise artwork that got auctioned off for charity.
Yeah.
And he's just an incredible artist, an incredible human. Love Eric.
Yeah, he's amazing. So I know he's been out and about doing his thing, and with the tsunamis and all that stuff going on in Hawaii and everything, I'm hoping that everyone there in that region, that area, can kind of pick up and get their life in order. And of course, you have our undying support. But it's always good. It's always good to see him posting. It's always good to hear people post, and hopefully too, people really like our poet laureate as well. We're talking a little bit about perhaps having some poetry corners, with Matt Mason, our poet laureate, and I think we should. I think hopefully in the coming weeks we'll be able to get together and have a little poetry corner. If you have not checked out his book, you need to check it out over there on oldmillpress.com. It's really cool because he shares his poetry about Disneyland, and it's really cool. So please check that out. You can also check out his Rockstar book of poetry as well, which I actually have, thanks to Matt as well. So man, just go out there and check out his books. It's amazing stuff. Okay, let's get into it. We have, of course, Film Projector. What have we been watching this week? We'll start off with Kat. You saw some really cool stuff this week, didn't you?
I did see some cool stuff this week. I saw Freakier Friday twice.
Yes. Oh.
Because I went to the D23 preview, and then I saw it again at the El Capitan, which was wonderful and ridiculous.
Nice.
But they had their beautiful display of costumes and props, and it's always wonderful to see Disney movies at the El Cap. I loved Freakier Friday. I laughed, I cried, I went home happy. It was everything it should have been and more.
Oh, good.
I do feel like lately we've been getting a lot of sequels and a lot of reboots and a lot of things that are just pure fan service. And while, yes, this was a lot of fan service, it was Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan at their finest. Holy moly, was it wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love to hear it.
Great.
I love to hear it.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the original and really enjoyed both actresses. I mean, you have the original Scream Queen, I can't even talk, Scream Queen too early to do the alliteration. Because Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome, and also, of course, big fan of Lindsay Lohan too. And I'm glad that she's back and getting these roles again. I think this is going to bring her back to where she once was. I loved all the Christmas movies and the Netflix stuff that she's doing, but I'm glad she's been able to get it back together. And I think The Machine, as we talked about over the past month, there's been these documentaries of these child actors getting chewed up and spit out by the machine, and it's great that over time she's able to kind of gather herself and get back into it, and she's really matured as an individual, and we all do, right? I mean, everybody goes through those moments, but even more so with these child actors trying to get stuff together. So I'm glad to hear it. I look forward to seeing it myself.
Yes, it was great. I also caught some TV this week. Watched the first 4 episodes of Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which I know you also watched. So we'll talk about that in a second. But I watched an interesting series called Red Eye, a UK series with Richard Armitage.
Okay.
About a surgeon who's being framed for a murder, and the whole thing takes place on an airplane.
Wow.
And I was pleasantly surprised at how lovely it was. Richard Armitage, I think. Are you familiar with Richard Armitage?
Yes.
Alderaan?
Yes.
Okay. So Richard Armitage started his career as the British boyfriend hunk, and then turned into he's the villain and everything.
Yes.
And now this is like a little bit of both of those things. And I was like, okay, all right. I love Richard Armitage. I love when he narrates books and does audio podcasts. And I was like, okay, we'll jump in. And it was great. I really enjoyed it. He was wonderful. And it's like 6 episodes, so it's a fast watch.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was great. And then I caught the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth.
Yes.
Which has been one of my most anticipated watches of this year. You know how I feel about sci-fi.
Yes.
If people are making sci-fi, I'm happy because that means somebody's thinking about sci-fi.
Yes.
And we are in a boon of sci-fi right now because this thing is, the money is on the screen. Timothy Olyphant could read the phone book and I'd be happy.
Yes.
He's great.
Nice.
It's a prequel. It's a prequel to the first original Alien film. So it's set prior to all of the Ripley stuff. And it's a lot of lore building, a lot of world building, which is really interesting to me. And I can't wait to see what they do with it because it's beautiful. It's beautifully shot.
They seem to have a pretty young cast.
It's young, but that's like what the story is about. It's about the creation of like hybrids and cyborgs and that kind of stuff. So
nice.
It was very interesting. And this is not a spoiler, but the first episode opens with an almost shot for shot recreation of the opening of the original Alien film, which I thought to be a very wise choice. But also very interesting because it sets up a lot of characters really quickly and puts you directly into the world at 100 right off the bat.
That's what I loved about the first movie.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, the setup is so brilliantly done. It's so brilliantly done. That to me is the template of like sci-fi goth horror. It's like, or just any great movie, really, if you think about it. It's so well done.
Alien
awesome.
It's a brilliant, perfect movie. And I hope that the rest of the show is as successful as the first few episodes are.
That is awesome to hear.
What did you think of Wednesday?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, it's dark humor, which I love. It's one part dark humor. It's one part, CSI, who done it. Yeah. It's all that stuff. And then another part, Babysitter's Club, right? So it's kind of like, God. It's that teen angsty, as I said, when you don't have the fingerprints of someone like, oh shoot, where is it? Where did it go? I had it right here. But when you have someone like, well, I mean, it's great. I don't even know what to say. When you don't have the fingerprints of someone like Tim Burton on every episode, it definitely has a lighter side to it. I think it's very the colors are really just tuned up, which I really like. I really like that it's like hyper realistic, and then when it's like really focused on Wednesday, it like totally goes subdued. I really dig like the whole lighting direction of it, the whole cinematography aspect of it. Really dig that. I'm not a filmmaker, but I appreciate it. Unlike yourself, who is deeply ingrained in that thing, I come to it from a fan perspective, and I love it. I talked to my friends at work who also watched it, and they're like, "Man, we really like Wednesday." And I said, "You could not have picked a better cast." Jenna Ortega is my girl. Incredible. She's so good, but the rest of the cast is great as well. I mean, Emma Myers is fun, and she lights up a room. Love that. Love the rest of the cast as well. I just can't go on about how great it is, and I love the fact that her brother, Pugsley's like freaking great. Really, really great. Everything's great. That's all I can say. Go watch Wednesday.
So good.
It is great.
It's so good. It's jam-packed this season. I am loving the more Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman. It's just, they're such incredible character actors, and they're iconic. So
I agree.
Can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings, because we still haven't even gotten any Lady Gaga.
No, and I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. Super cool. Well, thank you, Kat. That was awesome. So this week, not only, excuse me, not only have a frog in my throat, but I also loved Wednesdays, as we know. But we saw Weapons. Finally, Kristen and I went out and saw Weapons. And I was like, man, there's something about this that seems really, really familiar. I know what it is. It's Zach Kreger. It's Zach Kreger. We just talked about Barbarian like a couple weeks ago. And lo and behold, here he is again, directing this movie. It has, once again, this indie vibe to it. And a lot of studios were fighting over the release of this film because he's got really cool indie film cred. And man, is this fun. It didn't go the way I thought it would go. And this kind of like intersection style film, almost like Pulp Fiction or like Four Weddings and a Funeral, right? Something like that. Am I channeling this right, Kat? Kind of
Absolutely.
Like all these different stories kind of converge in one place. So you meet the characters at certain points in their story, and it all converges, and it's super fun. And there's this really cool twist that if you weren't aware where this was going, it started to reveal itself in a really kind of organic way where you're like, okay, so I see kind of where this is going. And then it goes into full bloom and you're like, oh, that's great. And it pays off. So a bunch of setups, a misdirection, and a great payoff, which I really dig. So when all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning on who or what is behind their disappearance. Weapons, fun, great cast. It's great to see a bunch of Marvel actors in there. Josh Brolin as Archer. There's Julia Garner is in there as well. So you have a bunch of Marvel characters in there. Benedict Wong is in there too, who plays a very funny role in it. It's fun. Go check it out if you love it. Did you see Weapons?
I did see it.
Did you like it?
I don't know if maybe it was the theater that I was in, but there was more laughter than I anticipated in this film from the audience that I was with.
I get it.
Which made it a really fun time for me. Like, I will watch anything. I'll watch trash. I'll watch highbrow art, whatever. I had a great time. I'm interested in the alternate universe where this movie starred Pedro Pascal.
Yes. Initially, it was supposed to.
Because he was supposed to be in this, and then because of the pandemic and scheduling and Fantastic Four, he had to pull out. But I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. It was weird. I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, Pedro was supposed to be Thanos, Josh Brolin's character, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Pedro's in everything up to the point where it's almost over. I would say he's overexposed right now because he's going to be in a lot of projects. I mean, moving into next year with Mandalorian and Grogu, it's like he's going to be everywhere. But
then seriously, he had like what movies come out in the last 4 months?
Exactly. I mean, so many things. Yeah. But Josh Brolin, I think, did great.
He was wonderful, and he's always wonderful.
He is. He really is in everything that he's in. So I really enjoyed it. It's I could rewatch it for sure, and I can see where there are laughs because there are things that are like really freaky about it. But then there's and I think those laughs are supposed to be there. They're punctuated, and you don't know if you're supposed to laugh, maybe.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you do laugh. Okay, so. I'm a fan of this TV channel on YouTube called Remember When, and there was this top 20 things about you can't do that on television, which is a kind of like early 80s, well, it started at late 70s Canadian TV show that really launched Nickelodeon into doing kids TV. They wanted to do everything that was like non-educational, completely raunchy sketch comedy starring kids, and it was basically done on a shoestring budget at a like a Canadian TV show studio, and shot like at night and on weekends. And the green slime that is like the calling card for all things Nickelodeon and part of their marketing for decades now. I would say 45 years was really because of this TV show. And it's fascinating to see this footage and to see the children kind of go about their business. And they were not trained actors. So if you get a chance to see the Remember When on that, it's like a really quick watch. It's like 20 minutes long. it brought back a lot of great memories of watching. You can't do that on television when Nickelodeon was first starting out in the 80s. It was really fun. And of course, I saw Love Island again. I can't help it. I can't help it. Kristen sucked me in and watched it. And it's like, well, I'm just learning, guitar parts for an upcoming show that I'm doing. And so I'm playing the guitar and then I'm watching this and I'm like, why am I so invested in it now? And Kristen goes, don't you love train wrecks? And I said, yeah, I kind of do. I kind of do. I kind of do like watching the train wreck. So anyway, that's what we've been watching, a complete train wreck of a week. And what have you been watching? Let us know. Email us your comments and perhaps we will check it out in a future episode.
Skull Rock Podcast. This week in Disney and pop culture.
All right. Box office news. Nobody 2 can't stop. Weapons. How about that? And of course, Sydney Sweeney's Americana all-out bombs. I couldn't see that coming from a mile away, but that's just me. Bob Odenkirk's modestly budget sequel, Nobody 2, is having to settle for third place in its domestic box office as Zach Krieger's horror pick Weapons continues to fire on all cylinders in its second weekend. Nor is Disney's family comedy Freakier Friday helping matters. Nobody 2 is seemingly an average suburban dad who leads a double life as a stealth operative. And it's coming on lower expectations with 9.4 million, receiving a B+ on CinemaScore. That's not bad. The first Nobody opened up amidst the pandemic, according to Hollywood Reporter, at 6.8 million domestically. And of course, Weapons, that I just talked about, will have no problem staying number 1 with 25 million in its sophomore outing. That's a mere 42% drop. That's not bad considering it is horror after all.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get people to do rewatches of horror, typically speaking. But of course, you have Freakier Friday 2 with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, of course, doing really well, hauling 14 million. And that's a 50% drop, but that's okay because it's still doing really well, all things considered. Spike Lee's prestige pick Highest to Lowest, which reunites him for the first time in years with Denzel Washington making the rounds. Interesting. Which I love Denzel anyway. Is opening in select theaters before being made available on Apple TV Plus. And so that's happening. And of course, Lionsgate distributed Americana starring Sydney Sweeney opposite Paul Walter Hauser and Halsey. But of course, she's been embroiled in this stuff over the last 2 weeks, but it is what it is, But, hey, look, that's what happens in this divisive time that we live in right now. But what do you say about the box office? I mean, I'm not really surprised by all this.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I'm just glad that Freakier Friday is doing so well. We deserve more movies like that, just fun comedies where women are put first.
I think
that's just my feminist take.
Oh, that's okay. And that's good. They just have to be good. Just bring us good movies. And I'm down with that. Female led, male led, doesn't matter. Just make it good. Just make good movies. And I'm happy to see more comedies come out for sure.
Agree.
I mean, I think Adam Sandler's film should have came out in theaters. Happy Gilmore 2 should have been in theaters, I thought.
I was so surprised that it wasn't. With Naked Gun, Happy Gilmore 2, Freakier Friday, all these kind of legacy comedy sequels or requels, whatever you want to call them, coming out all at the same time. And we're going to talk in a minute about Scary Movie coming back. I feel like there's going to be an uptick in that physical comedy type of film in the next couple of years. And I love that because we haven't gotten that in a really long time.
Seems to me that like a lot of things, whether it's pop culture or, and of course films and music, everything is cyclical. Truly. It will come back. So I'm just waiting for Guitar Heroes to come back. That said, and Guitar Hero, the video game, is coming back. Having said that, let's look at this movie poster for Disney Plus. So the new tile for Disney Plus with the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts, has come out and raised a lot of eyebrows this week because they basically edited out a bunch of guns from the theatrical poster. It was released earlier this week. Thunderbolts blast onto small screen August 27th. So we're just a few mere days away on Disney Plus. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Of course, this film was lauded as being a return to form for Marvel Studios, even though it wasn't necessarily widely accepted as a huge blockbuster. I think it did great. All things considered, I really enjoyed the film. But what do you think about them editing out Taskmaster and editing out the guns and this and all the stuff out of the movie tile that they put on Disney Plus?
Honestly, I'm not shocked by it at all. It's they can't edit it out of the movie. It's not like it's a secret that this stuff is in there. It's a Marvel movie. But the removal of Taskmaster, honestly, it was imminent, I think. Because honestly, if not to spoil the movie, but if you haven't seen the film, you're not going to miss Taskmaster when you do see it.
All the rest of us did, because she was in all the rest of the trailers. So I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, hey, look, there's the stakes right there. You remove someone that you built your stuff. But, Marvel's kings at misdirection when it comes to these movie trailers, right? So looking forward to seeing that. I wonder what kind of bonus features we're going to find. Long for the day that we are going to see a director's cut of Thunderbolts that includes all the other backstory and stuff that they shot that they had to take out of the film, because I'm such a fan of David Harbour and Red Guardian, and I know that a lot of his beats were removed from the film to kind of make it flow under 2 hours. So I'd love to see it. Make it happen, Disney. That's what makes people want to go stream it on Disney Plus, is that extra stuff. All right. Do you want to take this one for Vampirina?
Yes. Well, Disney Plus royalty Vampirina, debuting on September 12th, she's Vampirina Teenage Vampire.
Awesome.
I love it.
I love it.
All episodes are coming out. She'll be on Disney Channel on September 12th, and then all the episodes will be streaming on Disney Plus October 15th. But it's live action now. It's fantastic.
It's great. Kids love Vampirina.
It tells a story. No, she's such an icon, and this story is going to tell the story of course, a tween vampire girl leaves the safety of Transylvania to attend performing arts boarding school. It's giving Wednesday, living among humans for the first time, pursuing her passion for music while keeping her vampire identity a secret.
Yeah.
Something that becomes more challenging when her overprotective father charges an overzealous ghost to live with her at school. I love it.
This has Wednesday vibes and Freaky Friday vibes all over it.
Definitely. It's fantastic.
Well, the kids love Vampirina. I love Vampirina. It's fun. I love the animated Disney Junior show where her parents do. It's exactly the same boilerplate, the same story. She's in a rock band. She plays guitar. And please, 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 I hope they tapped our team to do placements, because I didn't see any contracts come through that I had to sign this time about placing guitars in this show. But I hope we do have some guitars in this show, because that's awesome. I love it. Love to see it.
Kim Coles is in this show.
Oh, yeah.
And as a fan of In Living Color and Sinclair, Kim Coles in anything, sign me up. I think it's going to, with a powerhouse like that in a supporting role, I think it's going to be pretty good.
It's awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I remember Kim Coles from Living Single, of course.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's great. Well, looking forward to that in, September 12th on Disney Channel, October 15th on Disney Plus. Love it.
Couple of weeks.
I love it. I can't believe it's already Halloween time. Speaking of Halloween time, encounter iconic Disney characters at the 2025 Oogie Boogie Bash. This is fun. I've already seen a lot of this happening, because the bash is happening right now as we speak. So you'll be able to have some really cool characters to meet, like Syndrome is making this is debut, right? Syndrome?
Yes.
So it's going to be great. You can see Syndrome. Maleficent's also making a visit as well. You'll be able to stumble across them over there at Hollywood? California Adventure. We're talking about California Adventure. Agatha Harkness is going to be at Avengers Campus. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb over at Hollywoodland. Hades will be at Animation Studios over at Hollywoodland. I love that. Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit will be there too at Hollywoodland. And Yokai from Big Hero 6 will be at San Francisco Square. This is great. I love seeing all these characters that you don't normally see because I love watching it. Is there any other things we need to note here on this one, Matt?
Well, Ernesto de la Cruz is back this season, and he's the best. So.
There you go. Love it. Go check it out. Check it out. Hey, I wanted to put in a quick note about D23. It's sold out, of course. Destination D23 is happening here at the end of the month, August 29th through 31st at Walt Disney World Resort. But we'll be covering it on the show. And, of course, there's going to be really cool presentations, 80s and 90s celebration, which is going to be great. Yeah, over Typhoon Lagoon should be a lot of fun. But, those presentations are always going to be great. So I'm looking forward to seeing the archives and what they're going to be presenting and some other announcements. Hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. It's so hard for us, to, at least Kristen and I nowadays, to do any D23 events now that we have the kiddos. They're so young. But hopefully we'll be getting back to covering those as we did several years ago. So, All right, Kat. Want to tell us about what's going on in Masters of the Universe? Because this is funny.
Yes. Masters of the Universe, they've wrapped filming. They're in post-production. And Kristen Wiig has joined the cast as Roboto, the voice of Roboto, which is an interesting choice.
Wow.
This will release theatrically next year, June 5th of 2026. But a lot of choices are getting made. A lot of choices are being made. And, I will have to see how we'll see. Roboto, as you probably know, is a member of the Heroic Warriors. The character has a transparent metal body.
Yep.
And has normally been voiced by a male actor. So I guess we'll see how they put it on its head. It's already a stacked cast even before this with Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man, Jared Leto as Skeletor, Camila Mendez as Tila, Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress.
Love that.
It's Alison Brie as Eva Lynn. There's a lot of big names in this, and including Idris Elba as Duncan in Man-at-Arms.
I love this cast. I love the cast.
It's stacked.
I mean, it is cast, and I'm here for it. I love Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
I hope that there is a lot of the reverence, I guess you can, for the source material, if you will. I mean, I was a big fan of the animated series. Kristen and I, we both loved it. She's a big She-Ra fan, and so and we've been having the kids watch some of it, which is hilarious. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't wait. I really can't wait. I feel like with some of these choices, there's got to be a lot of humor in this.
Gosh, yes, of course.
I mean, do you feel like they're going to be leaning on the camp of it all?
They have to.
I mean, I would think they have to,
They have to.
And
just with Jared Leto as Skeletor, that's such a crazy casting.
I think it's great. I love Jared Leto.
It's crazy. I love it. It's absolutely unhinged, and I feel like the whole thing is going to be just unhinged.
I think Jared got a bad rap for Morbius. I really do, because I didn't think it was that egregious. Now it's just me. I didn't like the film per se, but I love him.
I mean, he's had some not so great news as of late.
I get it.
But whenever, this is not a hot take, but I always feel like whenever somebody talks about a white male actor going method,
yeah,
it always turns into something horrific and problematic, and he's always at the center of those things.
Yeah.
So it's how do you go method for Skeletor?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And I want to know. That's the thing, right?
I hear that stuff with Joaquin Phoenix, and I go, "Oh, I believe it. I totally believe it." And last time I really, paid attention to method acting was Dustin Hoffman, really,
right?
This is Dustin Hoffman.
Crazy.
I get that. I understand. That's part of his thing. Being a method actor. Yeah, it's part of the process. Exactly.
Daniel Day-Lewis. But at the same time, it's how do you method act as Morbius? How do you method act as Skeletor? How do you I just have so many questions, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be completely crazy.
I don't get it, but okay. Well, maybe if Skeletor was like as part of like Train Spotting, perhaps. I guess if that's what you want to do is chase a dragon all day, and that's your method acting. I guess that's part of it. I'm trying to be a little PG on this show today. Let's leave it at that. Speaking of funniness, okay, how about what Kat alluded to, Scary Movie reboot? Anna Faris is back. Yes, my girl, Anna Faris. She's great. Regina Hall re-teamed with Wayans Brothers for a 2026 release. I was a big fan of the Scary Movie reboot. Not the reboot, but the Scary Movie franchise as a whole. I thought it was hilarious. The Wayans Brothers are extremely hilarious. I love it. And this reads good for you, right, Kat? What are your thoughts?
I love this. Again, this is back to that physical comedy, the parody. I love that style of R-rated comedy it's been gone for a long time, and I'm glad it's back. I love the Wayans Brothers. We were just talking about Living Single, but Living Color. It's just, they're great. They're wonderful. And they make such, like, just the family makes incredible content. White Chicks, iconic. The original Scary Movies, iconic. It's just, you can't go wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're writing, they're producing. It's fantastic. 100%.
I absolutely love it as well. According to the Hollywood Reporter, this is the sixth film in the franchise. I can't believe there were six. Now there will be. It hits theaters June 12th, 2026. Paramount is handling global distribution for the forthcoming title through their first look deal with producer Miramax, which distributed the first three features. The reboot begins shooting in October. That is exciting to me. Can't wait. Gonna be fun. Let's see here. Now, here's something that wasn't on my card. I mean, I'm a big fan of Tiffany Thiessen from Saved by the Bell and kind of what she's doing now with her lifestyle channel and cooking and all that cool stuff that she's doing. Because, I'm one of those kids that had a crush on her growing up on Saved by the Bell. But now she's starring in this young adult dramedy, Coven Academy, from High School Musical series creator. And it's been greenlit over at Disney. So this is really interesting. Melina Polly Westman and Tiffany Thiessen and Macaulay, did I say that right? Yeah, Macaulay Barton lead the cast in this new series, Coven Academy, about a group of young witches in New Orleans. The show comes from Disney branded television and High School Musical, the series creator Tim Federle. And this is, I thought this was based on an IP. It's not. You made that note on here. Pre-existing IP, it doesn't exist. So this is a whole new original IP. What I guess a lot of people are just trying to get in on this. What is this kind of teen angsty? Kind of young adult kind of dramedy kind of stuff, right? I mean, I guess we saw a lot of it. Maybe. Was it maybe 5-10 years ago with stuff like what was that Archie series that was on Netflix?
Riverdale,
right?
Yeah. I feel like this style of like YA show has always been pretty prevalent. Not for like before Riverdale, we had Gossip Girl. Before that, we had One Tree Hill. Like that, like YA,
Pretty Little
high
Liars.
School. Like drama. This 100% is going to have music in it. There's no way it
High
doesn't.
School Musical, the musical.
Yeah, there's no way. It's got to have crazy music in it. But even like in the last couple of years, like with The Summer I Turned Pretty and that kind of stuff coming out, has been very popular, even with adult viewers. So it makes a lot of sense that they're going to greenlit this, and that they greenlit this. And Federle, he's directing the Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion sequel.
Boy.
For 20th Century, which I think is crazy. And again, another physical comedy. So he's got to have the chops to do something like this if they're going to let him run with a full series. I'm excited to see what it's about.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I can only imagine, Coven Academy. It's like the situations are the same, when it comes to these coming of age type of series, it's just set in a backdrop of, supernatural, right? Which is in vogue, right? I mean, we haven't had anything like that since Twilight, really, I mean, well, I say that's not true. We haven't had anything like that since Twilight, but I think a lot of people are like, here are the different generations now that are coming up that are kind of taking a lot of that, a lot of those themes. Right? Yeah.
And I think the popularity of things like, oh my gosh, the Interview with a Vampire.
Yes.
Which is decidedly adult.
Yes.
I feel like the popularity of that with most audiences leans towards giving something to the YA community that can be easily accessible, especially something that's more family friendly.
Gotcha. Yeah, 100%. Well, speaking of young adults and maybe some not so young adults, Life of a Showgirl rollout. Taylor Swift is in more control than ever. She's been teasing stuff for her new album. Kat, you're the Swiftie on this show. Even though I am a fan of Taylor Swift stuff, why don't you talk about her album? It's coming out.
I will preface, I am not a Swiftie.
What?
But I am an ally. I'm an ally.
Oh.
Because I'm not like tracking her jet where it goes around the world or anything, or like trying to read into her posts or her Easter eggs or whatever the heck. But I love new music, so I'm here for this.
Okay. You just keep on telling yourself that.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. I didn't listen to this podcast or anything, but I was watching the Instagram rollout of all of this, and I'm really excited for her. I can do it with a broken heart. I can go on tour. I can, rock it every single night for 2.5 years in front of 9 million people.
Yep.
And now I can do it with a supportive boyfriend who loves me, and I love that for her.
She seems really comfortable with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she wrote this and produced it while she was on the road. The song titles are crazy. The visuals are insane. I'm just really excited for it. There's a lot going on here, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes.
Going to be interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to hearing who all she's collaborated with. Or
she was flying back and forth to Sweden to collaborate with Max Martin on this.
I'm not surprised.
And if you have Max Martin, like Britney Spears and Sync, he's like the biggest pop producer
ever,
maybe ever.
Well, I feel like she has been going back, and a lot of her albums will go back and grab things from certain decades. So, you had, the last few that kind of went back, and there's a really good retro vibe. She spans over the past 30 years of pop music where she takes these things. And I think decidedly she's gone back with Max Martin to bring back that 2010s pop. And so I'm sure
she hasn't worked with him since 1989, so that makes a lot of sense.
There you go. And so I believe that that's what's going on there with Max Martin, because let's face it, it's coming back around. And so, it's going to happen. It's going to be great. I can't wait to hear it. So anyway, that is our news wrapped up in a nice little bundle here. And before we go on to part 2 of our interview, let's go into Obituary Roll Call. Yes. Let's talk and remember those that have left this plane this week. Daniel Spencer, at the age of 60, this really hit hard for me because I loved What's Happening. What a great TV show. She was known as Dee on What's Happening, a great, sitcom back in the 80s, beloved child star, whose sass and charm lit up the 70s TV, and of course later became a veterinarian, embodying a rare blend of pop culture into a real-world impact. I love that, and I'm so sorry to hear that she had passed. Also, Sheila Jordan, at the age of 96, a pioneering jazz vocalist. Jordan was revered for her improvisational style and emotional depth. She worked to help bridge bebop and vocal jazz, influencing generation of singers. This is one I know, Bobby Whitlock at 77, co-founder of Derek and the Dominoes, of course, with Eric Clapton. He wrote big classics like Bell Bottom Blues. His soulful keyboard work and songwriting helped shape the sound of rock in the 70s. And Kat, do you want to take these last couple ones?
Sure. Jim Lovell at age 97. The Apollo 13 commander. He became a symbol of resilience and ingenuity in space exploration and, of course, inspired Apollo 13. Stephanie Shirley at 91. Trailblazing tech entrepreneur. She founded freelance programmers and championed women in computing. Her legacy lives in both tech and feminist history, my favorite. Dan Ziske at 80, known for roles in House of Cards and Tremmy. Ziske brought gravitas to political and dramatic television. He'll be missed. And, of course, our youngest this week, Brandon Blackstock at age 48, music manager for Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband and yes. Reba McEntire's ex-stepson. He was a music manager, behind-the-scenes figure in country and pop music, and he passed away, leaving 2 young children, unfortunately.
I remember seeing that, and Kelly Clarkson had to stop her residency in Las Vegas, and she kind of had a little bit of a breakdown that I saw on YouTube, and she tried really hard to kind of keep it together. It's really sad after, his bout with cancer and, of course, the messy divorce and the custody battle that ensued, et cetera, but she tried to stay strong for her children. Definitely sad to see. But once again, that wraps up our segment on pop culture. Let's sit back now. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Let's sit back and relax and delve into part 2 of the man Bill Barretta as he talks about Pepe the King Prawn and so much more, being a Muppeteer right here on Skull Rock Podcast.
Hey, let's chat.
Let's chat.
So let's chat now. Let's chat afterwards. And he said, let's chat again.
Skull Rock Podcast. Interview time.
Well, Aljon, we are back for week 2 with Bill Barretta, who is a Muppet performer, a puppeteer, a Muppeteer, whatever you want to say. He's come up with a lot of great characters. And Bill, welcome back to the Skull Rock Podcast.
Thank you, Dave. Nice to be here. Thanks for letting me in.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for cleaning up the green room last We appreciate it. We have a producer friend, Don Hahn. He comes in, he wrecks the place sometimes,
Oh, yeah, I know. I noticed. I mean, and if you, just so you know, the chips now are in the chip area.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
So, Bill, last week we kind of ended where you were talking about some of your own breakout characters for Muppets Tonight. Can we pick up there and have you just talk a little bit about some of those characters? And of course, you did briefly mention one of my favorites, Pepe the Prawn. Don't call him a shrimp. He's Pepe the Prawn.
That king prawn. Don't call him a prawn either. He's a king prawn. There's a big difference, my friend.
One of my favorite characters. But let's talk about just this group of characters you came up with.
Well, gee whiz. They came out of a workshop that we did after we were finishing up Muppet Treasure Island. We were in London, and Brian pulled together a rack of puppets, all different kinds, a lot of, supporting puppets for us to just grab and see what comes out. And Frank Oz was there as well, all the great performers. And but Frank said, why don't everybody just grab a puppet and I'm just going to interview you while you're up there, right? So we grab a character and we'll do something. And so I had a couple characters in me that I thought might be kind of fun to try. I don't know if they actually fit the puppet very well. I tried to find something that looked like it would fit it, because that's a big part of it is when you're looking at it, it needs to feel like what's coming out of you, right? It has to feel like a whole. So one of them was a character I did as myself, a guy named Johnny Fiamma, who was like a bad Italian lounge singer, right? And my brother and I messed around years ago when I lived in Long Beach, back when I first moved out to LA. He and I did this thing. We did it was a documentary called The Last Swing. And these two brothers are trying to get to their concert. And so they're interviewed, and it's all the behind the scenes kind of, that they're supposedly these famous singers, but nobody knows who they are. And Johnny is a Sinatra wannabe, and he's just not very good, but he tries. And so I tried that. I played around with that. And that was fun because Brian picked up this monkey and we started playing together. And Brian's character started to become this kind of like a bodyguard, like a gentleman's monkey, for Johnny and their relationship. And so that was kind of fun. And then I grabbed this little thing. It just had eyeballs and a wire body with fur around it and a little mouth, a flappy mouth. It wasn't kind of finished, but I grabbed it and I thought, let me try something because I've been thinking about doing something with a character which is based on my wife's aunt. And her name was Maria Teresa. They called her Tita Maria. And she's from Madrid, Spain. And she was just a character. Just an amazing lady, just cracked me up all the time. She spoke in English. And so she would, and I don't speak Spanish very well, but she would start to speak to me in English and she'd start, and then she'd start to like go into Spanish and then laugh. And so all we ever did was laugh. And I just thought, and she had a speech pattern. She would say things like, Dave, you're wearing the headphones, okay? And you go, okay. Or Bill, we go to the mall, okay? Okay. So I thought that's kind of interesting. There's never questions, really. It's just always a statement, right? And I started to play with that. And there's people kind of were cracking up, and we thought, well, maybe there's something in that. And then there was a bear. I grabbed him, and I was just kind of doing this guy, and I hadn't done a Rolf thing yet, but I was missing that tone that I talked about last week. And so I did a little bit of something like that with him. And so when we did Muppets Tonight, Pepe became something. He came out of a conversation I had with the same guy that designed the Earl maquette, Kirk Thatcher, writer, great writer. And we were talking, and I was explaining to him about Christina's aunt and like her characteristics. And I said, she's a little naughty and mischievous. She's a great laugh. She's a little bit selfish. And I said, shellfish. And he goes, wait a minute, wait, maybe he's a lobster or a crab or a shrimp. I said, maybe shrimp, but maybe he's he's got a problem with being little, so he's a king prawn, And so that's how that developed.
Can I ask you,
yeah,
with the puppet itself?
Yeah.
It's obviously Pepe is not a puppet that you have a hand in.
Well, yeah, I do.
You
I
do?
do, not in his mouth.
Okay.
But my hand is in his body.
Okay.
And there's a pull string for his mouth.
Okay.
Right. So it pulls his mouth open. But then also a really clever thing on the neck, there's like a dowel in there, right? That goes into the palm of my hand. On that dowel, I can also rotate his head. Okay. And I can also pull down and it makes his head go up. So it looks like he's got movement, but he's just a stick and a pull.
It's interesting because every time I've seen Pepe in a show, I always imagined it was like one of those grabby alligator heads that they modified, because his mouth just was sort of one of these little flappy things,
Yeah.
And I was always trying to figure out how are they doing that? There can't be a hand up there, but you've got some fingers in there.
Yeah, it's my hand is his body, and my index finger is the pull for his mouth, and then my thumb and my middle finger do the head moves.
Yeah.
But Rizzo the rat is very similar. Rizzo has the same thing. He's a pull mouth as well. Same
so the
idea.
Body is just covering the hand then. Right?
Yeah, literally, that's the fist is the body.
It's almost like a glove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you for explaining that because I was always curious how they did Pepe the King Prawn compared to the other larger puppets, which you sort of know about because the hand is up in the head, your arm is going through their body, and then you're using your other hand. And I'd love for you to just talk about that so our listeners can really understand because you're you're using your one hand to move the mouth,
Yep.
and your other hand is using sort of a V-shaped device that's got two rods sticking off of it, right? That control the hands. And
Yeah,
that's different from puppet to puppet, right?
yeah, it depends, and not always. I don't usually have my rods together. I
Okay.
keep them separate, but I still hold both.
In one
'Cause it,
hand.
yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes I let it go, right, or somebody else grabs it and does the other arm rod. Uh, yeah, those are rod puppets. So yeah, your head and your arm become the behavior of the puppet, the
Yeah.
attitude, and the mouth, of course. And then there are we call live hand puppets, which are like Dr. Teeth, who has real hands
Yeah,
in
yeah.
gloves, right?
And this Swedish chef.
Swedish Chef actually has uncovered real hands, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And Rolf the dog also
Yes.
has
Yeah.
live hands,
Yeah.
many characters. And so that is same idea with the head and the body, but now you're reaching up with your left hand. Sometimes, most of the time, because I like to be able to have some control over what, if I think about a person and they're talking and people tend to touch their chin or they gesture, the timing of all that, I like to have that control because I can be very specific. So I try to do the left hand of the character because I'm right-handed. So my
Okay.
right hand goes into the body and the head, and then my left hand is his left hand. And then somebody else comes in and does the right hand, or sometimes we pin it to the body if nobody's there.
Okay.
Other times, like the Swedish Chef, because he does so many things, and the original fun of the character was Jim was the Swedish Chef, head, body, voice. Frank Oz was the hands. So like that old game, you know how you put your arms behind your back and somebody does your hands for you? They
Yeah.
put their arms through,
Yeah.
and they do stuff. Well, that's kind of what it's like to do the Swedish Chef.
So you really two puppeteers are on top of one another.
In a sense, I mean, not that they're going through, or not that they're going through my arms, but the idea that I'm behind the person who's doing both hands. They're in front of me, and
Okay.
they're operating both hands, and I'm reaching up behind them to hold up the body and the head. The fun part is that we don't always tell each other what we're going to do, right? So we know what the plan is in the scene, and we know we have to get from A to B. But sometimes it's fun. The hands will do something, and I got to go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just it's a fun game to play.
When you're doing a show, and I want to ask you, were you part of the most recent Electric Mayhem show?
I was the co-creator, yes.
You were? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Don't beat me
I'm
up for
glad.
not
I hope
knowing
you liked
that.
it. I hope you liked it.
I
Also.
love that show, and
good.
Aljon and I were completely annoyed that they didn't pick it up for a second season because we thought it was a fantastic rebirth of the Muppet Show, and having all those guests come on and everything. We were just, I mean, for the life of me, I don't understand why they didn't pick it up.
Thank you. And we, we loved doing it. It was great. I think it really felt like something. It just felt right. It just was the tone of what I missed for a little while. Although I liked Muppets Haunted Mansion, which I got to be a part of as well as executive producer on that and co-wrote. But this was really something very close to my heart, and I teamed up with two great guys. Adam Goldberg, who created the Goldbergs.
Yes.
And
didn't he do? Isn't he involved in some other show right now?
I don't know.
Or is that Evan Goldberg? That must be Evan Goldberg with
maybe.
Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Oh, that's him, right? Yeah. And Jeff Yorks. The three of us, and then we had a great writing team. Zoom writing, by the way, which is new for us because of COVID.
Yeah.
But man, I just think we had some great episodes. We really dove into the backstories of characters that people hadn't seen before or thought of before, as far as the band goes. And
I said, we absolutely, I loved watching that. I watched every single episode. I was like on the edge of my seat waiting to hear that they were picking it up for a second season. Then they didn't, and I was just shocked. I was shocked by that.
Yeah, they just it was just timing. I think it was just things were shuffling around within Disney, and I think we just kind of got, and also a lot of it's about, I think, data now on streaming, and I think we did well, but the fact that the strike happened just when we were being released, there wasn't a lot of push for like marketing that was able to happen. We were supposed to do Jimmy Kimmel and all this stuff, and it just didn't get it.
But they couldn't. While the strike was going on, there was sort of this moratorium on performers going on to promote shows and things like that, right?
Yeah, so we just kind of, it came out, in a whimper.
Bill, the thing I have to say, and again, Aljon and I have talked about this over the last several years, is that we're both big Muppet fans, right? And we, for the life of us, can't understand why there isn't more happening with Disney doing something consistent with the Muppets. It seems to be almost hit and miss, like they'll do something, it's starting to get traction, but then they don't pick it up, and you're sort of like, what the heck,
I believe me, I get it. It's we've been there now, almost 20 years, I think, at Disney, and we've had stops and starts and hits and, stammers and slow starts, and it's like pieces, pops.
The Jason Segel film.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
absolutely fantastic.
Huge. They got behind it too. They really promoted it, which helped a lot. Even I love the Ricky Gervais one. I had a great time making that. Another, I think, great one. We did live things. We did Hollywood Bowl. We did the O2. Like, there's all these things that are just great moments. And I guess now, in the last 4 to 5 years, they're under a new department. The Muppet Studios is now run by a new group of people who I think are really starting to take it in a direction that it needs to go. They have a real respect for the integrity of it. They want it to work. They want to hear the performers' ideas and opinions. Over the years, sometimes they want to hear from the performers.
But again, it was sort of hit and miss.
Yeah. And so I think we've come to a time, and I'll knock on wood, where I think you're going to feel some more consistency and constancy. I hope. So hang in there. Don't give up yet.
So the question I'd ask is, are there more movies in the pipeline? Because I thought the Haunted Mansion one was terrific. The Jason Segel film was super fun. Treasure Island. I mean, honestly, you could be making you could take classic literature and make a movie every year. Jane Austen.
Sure.
Frankenstein.
Right. Absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could tell you I'd have to kill you, but
but I mean, you don't have to divulge things as much as I'd like you to. Give us a sense of the direction they want to go in with the property. I mean, because it's such great IP.
Yeah, I mean, all I can really say is that this group really wants to do great stuff, and I think whether it's a movie, a special, social media content, commercials, all of it. I feel like they're really trying to do their best to try to capture all of it and have a real plan going forward. So I'm excited. I think this is a great group of people who are overseeing it, and I think you're going to see some stuff.
Let's talk about the parks, the Disney parks for a second, because they did take out Muppet Vision
Right.
They took that out. Are there plans to put anything back in with the Muppets into the parks?
Well, I mean, they made an announcement about Rock and Roller Coaster. They're working on something for that,
With the
which would,
Muppets.
yeah. So I
Okay.
think that's fun. But other than that, I don't really. Oh, and sorry, in California Adventure, there's the show called The World of Color.
Yeah.
Sorry, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they
I
just
worked
opened
on
a new.
that, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I worked on the original version. I was the creative director and producer of the animation projections for that show.
Really?
Yes, for the
Wow.
original version when it first opened. Steve Davison was the show director.
Steve,
Yeah,
yes.
Steve's great. Absolutely great. I work very closely with Steve, and
Yeah, lovely guy.
Sayer
Yep.
Wiseman was the show producer with Steve.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they just opened a new World of Color show, but we did the pre-show. We kick off the show with a Muppet segment.
Awesome.
Yeah, and people are loving it. So
That's great. I haven't seen the latest version, so
oh yeah, you got to go.
nice to
It's
know.
fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. So that's there.
Okay.
So they're trying, and just so you know too, the department that we're under, where the Muppets studio is overseen by people who are also part of parks and Imagineering,
Yes.
right? So you've got really creative, there's stuff going on. They want to see things happen. So
Yeah.
it's a good place.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that because, again, it's such great IP that it really needs to be out there all the time so that
Yeah,
people
for
don't
sure.
forget about it. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what are you working on? What can you talk about? And if you can't tell us specifically, at least be cryptic about it.
What can I tell you about? Well, I have something that I've been working on with my son, that I think probably in a few weeks, it'll be out there. I'll send you a little link, but it's really stupid. It's a character of my own that's not Muppet related at all. And it's related to a snack brand. And we just had some fun. It's kind of a behind the scenes of creating a spokes animal for a product. And so my son is involved. He's in it. We're working with a company called Gravara, and great people there. And hopefully in a couple weeks, we'll start releasing what we created. And I think it'll be fun just to see what happens,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is the Electric Mayhem show dead, or can it be resuscitated?
I don't think anything's dead ever.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like there's more to do with that, and would love to see. Initially, when the idea came up, we had done a concert called Outside Lands up north. We did a live show. This is back in 2016, I think. And it was just the band. We did a live show up in what's the big park up near San Francisco? Golden State Park.
Okay.
Right? And they have bands everywhere, all over the park, and you walk to the different stages. And we took the band there, and we played 25 minutes. We did a concert. We did our bit. And it was unbelievable. I think they said 30,000 people came to the yard to watch the show. You can see it if you Google it, you'll see our little thing. And out of that, I thought the band needs to go on tour. Let's do a series about the band going on tour.
That would be so awesome.
Right?
And by the way, you don't have to play big stadiums or outdoor arenas or anything.
No.
I mean, you could go to like Roseland in New York City, or some of those smaller theaters.
Absolutely.
Have 500 or 600 or 800 people. And that would be awesome to see.
Yeah, and that was the plan, that they would tour the country in a very, no specific way, and seeing all those great roadside attraction places and just having an American road show, with the band on
that's
tour.
a show in itself.
Right.
That is a show in itself. Oh my gosh.
So I pitched that when the new folks came in to run the Muppet Studio in like 2018, I think. And little did I know at the time, Adam Goldberg and Jeff Yorks were pitching a show about the band themselves. And Muppet Studio people put us together. and we started talking which approach, and they had an approach of them making their first album that they had never kind of done. And so we thought, okay, let's go with that. And if we get a second season, maybe it's about them going on tour with the album.
Playing the concerts.
Yeah. So I don't know if we would do that exactly, but if we got a chance to do another version, I think the fun thing would be to take them on tour.
I think that would be so often. And you know something, what's so great about the band, the Electric Mayhem band, is that, I mean, I would imagine you could get some synergies going with Walt Disney Records.
Sure.
And actually doing some stuff. I mean, you know, they just came out with the Kermit the Frog album for Kermit's 70th. Have you seen it?
Yeah, sure.
It's a green vinyl album. I've got one of them over there on my shelf. You know,
Did you get the Mayhem album?
No, they just sent me the Kermit the Frog one, and they did a Lilo and Stitch die cut vinyl.
Nice.
You know,
well,
in the shape of Stitch.
You know, the Muppets Mayhem was #1 on the Billboard charts for kids and family songs.
I'm gonna have to send a note over to Records and see if they can send me one of those.
Can you see if you can see it? I can't really see it so well, but that they did purple vinyl. It's a beautiful album.
Yeah, I can see just the bottom of it sticking out of the sleeve.
Yes, that's
the
right.
Purple. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
But
that's
it's
awesome.
we were like, #1 album. It was crazy.
That's fantastic. You know, what else is going on for you? What do you see your career doing in the future? You want to do more shows? Do you want to continue with the Muppets? Obviously, yes.
Yeah, sure. I love them. I mean, I have a pet project that I would love to do, that I've been wanting to do for a long time with a dear friend of mine who we've written it and worked very hard on it. We see it as a series, and we see it as a documentary as well, and even a musical, like a docu-musical. I don't know if you're familiar with Louis Prima.
Yes,
Do you know
absolutely.
Louis Prima?
Yeah.
So it's about Louis Prima's life with his drummer, a guy named Jimmy Vincent, and their wild escapades on the road back in the day of, from the 40s to the early 70s, their life through into Vegas and the lounge acts, and it's a wild ride. So that's something I'm hoping maybe I can still get going. I've never given up on that.
Yeah.
Big passion.
And would that be a live action show, or would that be
no puppets, not puppets.
No puppets.
Right.
Okay.
No. This would just be
live,
people.
straight live action. Gotcha.
Yeah. And for people who don't know Louis Prima, he was the original voice of King Louie in Jungle Book.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. The other question I was going to ask you is, do you, as a Muppet performer, are you just really employed project to project, or do you work outside the confines of a production schedule for a particular show?
Well, I'm pretty much freelance, right? So I'm a freelance.
So they
director,
call you up
writer,
and say,
performer.
They call you up and say, "Hey, we're doing a new movie. We want you to come and be a part of that."
Yeah, there's something coming up. Would you like to come and consult on it and help us out? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And so each one's different, and one of the kind of something I've done for, I guess it must be 20 years now, is I've, for the most part, been what they call puppet captain, which is kind of the person who's kind of the hub as far as the Muppets go on a production, where all of the different departments kind of check in and figure out how are we going to do this thing logistically with puppets, right? How do the Muppets fit into the real world, or how do they fit into this particular set of circumstances? And I help design and inform and all of that sort of thing as well. So it's consulting, but
you're sort of like a character supervisor.
Well, I'm kind of a project almost from the Muppets perspective.
You're a production supervisor for Muppets.
In a sense, yes, because obviously you have all very talented people who've been doing all these jobs, director, lighting, right, all of that. But when you bring the Muppets into it and you don't have people who've worked with them before, there's a very big learning curve,
Yeah.
excuse me, of how we do this stuff. It's very strange.
But I'm imagining, though, because you've been doing it for so long, you have like your Rolodex, so to speak. And for our younger listeners, it was a wheel of cards that had people's contact names on it.
Yes.
You know, but you had your sort of Rolodex of performers that you would call up and say, "Hey, we're doing a Muppet movie, and I want you and you and you and you and you," and they'd all show up, to be a part of it, right?
Yeah. Well, and not just, performers. It's also directors and directors of photography and camera people and
technicians,
camera operator, everyone. It's all part of the learning curve.
Puppet fabrication and all of that.
Yeah. Every audio, video, everything that goes into making any normal movie or television show or commercial.
Sure. Yeah.
It then needs to kind of be filtered in to how you do it with puppets, because it's a very different approach.
Yeah. You've worked with my friend Bruce Lanoil.
So sorry.
You know Bruce.
I love him. We're from the same town.
Are you really?
We both were born in Willingboro.
By the way, Bruce has been on the Skull Rock podcast.
Oh, he has? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've worked with Bruce over the years. I've worked with him as a voice artist. He does the voice of Timon.
Right.
The Lion King at Disney.
Sure.
And so I've done countless recording sessions with Bruce. And he's terrific. I love the guy. He's so great.
Well, again, that's one of the people that I've known for 35 years, and we were on Dinosaurs together.
Wow.
He was the puppeteer for the facial manipulations, the head of Charlene, my daughter, and many other supporting characters on the show. And then we just went on to do all kinds of things. Yeah, we still play poker from our Dinosaurs days. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I love him so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always enjoyed working with Bruce. He's absolutely terrific. Bill, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Skull Rock podcast and just talking about your career, because I honestly find it so fascinating. And I think the Muppets are the best when they're interacting with celebrities and regular people. In movies, like the Muppets are part of the real world. I think that is so fantastic. I just absolutely love it.
I agree. I love putting them in the real world. And if you want to believe that they live with us, I think that's really fun, to just think that they have these regular lives. And I don't know, it makes it so much fun, especially when you're working with actors or celebrity, whatever you want to call them, but that they immediately fall into it. It's not like they're trying. Occasionally you get somebody who's trying to up the Muppets, but it doesn't work, because the more real they are, the more real the Muppets become. When you interact with them on a real way, it just makes it more fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what was that was the magic of the original Muppet show. Was when every week they had a celebrity guest in, and the person would be singing with Kermit and Miss Piggy or whatever it was. There was such a warmth to that that you don't find very often.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need more of it. More of that. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, and hopefully this new group that's kind of taking on the Muppets is going to steer it in the right direction to start doing more movies, and more shows. And honestly, I think it would be brilliant to have the Electric Mayhem band and a tour bus just go around the country and film the whole thing. Have them do concerts everywhere. I mean, Jackson Browne, The Loadout,
right?
I mean,
and just have them open for people, I think would be just a blast.
Oh my God, could you imagine? That would be so fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, Bill. It was fantastic talking with you. I really appreciate you coming on the Skull Rock podcast. I know our listeners are going to absolutely enjoy these two episodes, and I look forward to hopefully talking to you again in the future.
Dave, it's been a pleasure. And if you don't mind, just before you'll validate the parking, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. But like I said, please swing through the green room and just tidy it up a little bit, and then we'll give you the validation.
Very good. Fair enough.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Take care, Bill.
This is Rasulullah Zadani, layout supervisor, and you are listening to Skull Rock Podcast.
Yes. Podcast is on Patreon. You can help support the show with your monthly contribution and become a friend of the show. Be part of the almighty Skull Rock Podcast crew. Much like friend of the show, Josh Volker, or you become a producer, an awesome crew member, Steve Munch, also Chris Banis. Thank you so much. By supporting the show, you get to make sure that A, you get a shout out on the show, and B, support the show and get this content for free every single week. Now, I tell you, one of the coolest things about being a Patreon crew member is the fact that you get to have ad-free versions of this show. So if you do dig it and you want it, you might even put in some extra, like, behind-the-scenes stuff. We're working on that. So if you enjoy the show, awesome. Be part of the show, be part of the Patreon, and keep this show going. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support and subscribing to Skull Rock Podcast.
Skull Rock Podcast, where you hear the stories behind the adventures.
Cuddy, let's get out of here.
Get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, Lieutenant.
All right, wrapping up part 2 of Bill Barretta. So glad you are here to the very end. We do appreciate it. In the weeks to come, like I said, we've got awesome shows lined up for you. Bill Croyer will be kicking some things off here in an incredible 6-part Bill Croyer arc. Can you believe it? Animator director Bill Croyer joining us in incredible stuff. And if you are a student of the game of animation and filmmaking, you will want to tune in for this because he goes in depth. And of course, being a professor as well, Bill Croyer is going to go in deep. So I can't wait to unleash these episodes for you. And I believe September is going to be a big month, Bill Croyer month here on Skull Rock Podcast. Gang, you made it once again to the very end. And I can't believe that we are here at the end of another episode. That's it. If you love Disney and pop culture, please subscribe to our show. If you just stumbled upon us, we'd appreciate it on every podcast platform. Give us a like and follow on all the social medias, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Blue Sky. We're there. Check out the plethora of shows that we've had while Dave was gone. We celebrated over 250 episodes. Can you believe it?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take our bows. But we want everybody to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well and check out the whole archive of shows. We're hopefully this fall going to launch a lot of our archive interviews and put them on as standalone interviews so people can just index them and listen to them as well. There at skullrockpodcast.com. We also have a very thriving, it's growing. I should say thriving. It's not striving. It's thriving. It's just growing. Patreon. So please just click the link for Patreon. You can get ad-free shows there right now. And we're slowly building up some cool content there, slowly but surely. And hopefully when Dave is back into the seat, we'll be able to do more. Send us those emails if you will. Dave and Aljon at skullrockpodcast.com. Check out Dave's Tune Behind the Tunes, Sirius XM, Disney Hits Channel 133. This month, they're going to be exploring Rainbow Connection from the Muppet movie, talking about Muppets with Bill Barretta. That's really poignant. Check out Dave's books over there at oldmillpress.com, where you can find Dave's book, Find Your Happy Place, the 8-step guide to boosting your creativity through personal retreat. It's a winner of a gold medal at the Fire Book Awards. There's all kinds of free stuff that you can check out, book plates and more. If you want to send for them, you can. And when Dave gets all settled, he'll send them to you there at davidbossert.com. You can also find Kat and I doing this podcast with my wife, Kristen, who does a travel deal there at Dining at Disney Podcast, where we're chock full of foodie guides about all the fall stuff going on at Epcot Food and Wine Festival, all the Halloween bashes at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, as well as the Food and Wine Classic that's coming up there at the Walt Disney World Resort. We'll be talking about it there at Dining at Disney Podcast. Can Kat, where can people follow you?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at catastrophe at CAT_ASTROPHE. I'm posting there a lot right now about things that are happening in pop culture, and of course, just the regular nonsense that I usually post. We're having a great time, so come follow me there. And then, of course, on Dining at Disney with Aljon and Kristen every week. Every week we drop a new episode, and it's been a lot of cool stuff lately, so check that out. Thank you again for having me, Aljon.
Thank you. I think we're going to do another show together for sure.
Yeah.
Probably next week we'll have Kat back in the seat while Dave gets situated and is moving. And of course, Dave doing all these great interviews as well. We appreciate the fact that you're listening to the show, still bringing you pop culture, still bringing you awesome interviews every single week with these great filmmakers and animators. Anyway, on behalf of Kat, of course, on behalf of Dave, I'm Aljon. Be good to each other this week, and we'll see you next week on an all-new episode of Skull Rock Podcast. Have a good one. Yeah. All right, gang, it is time for our weekly travel deal. Kristen, tell us what's on tap for this week.
This deal is that you can save up to 30% on rooms at select Disney Resort hotels when you stay 5 nights or longer. This deal is going on right now. So if you are looking to go at the start of this Food and Wine Festival through the beginning of it, between now and October 11th, you can take advantage of this fantastic deal. You can stay less than those 5 nights. If you do, it does drop down by 5%. So if you're staying at it's a 30%, well, if you're only staying 4 nights, it's going to be 25.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I love it. Well, there's so many great travel deals in terms of Disney, the Disney parks here, stateside Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World Resort, Adventures by Disney, of course, Disney Cruise Line, but you also have the Universal Resorts and all the other cruise lines as well. She can even do river cruises that will go to all kinds of places, especially Europe, especially if you're looking at maybe doing a river cruise and the space is limited. If you want to do the Christmas markets in Europe, which I suggest is an amazing thing. Kristen and I have done that before. Where can people email to save time, money, aggravation, and take advantage of your years and years of travel and service experience?
They can contact me at Kristen, Kristen, at magicaljourneystravel.com.